happening, y'all? It is Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, the founder, the president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Going live once again, just for you. All my peoples worldwide, make some noise. Mi gente, stand up. My Latin community. All the way from República Dominicana to Mexico to everywhere else I haven't been yet that I'm gonna go. All right? Please believe it. Yeah, it feels like a Friday. Oh, it's gonna be Friday tomorrow. It already feels like Friday. Hope you're having a very productive week. I had a really good day. Kind of a good family day. Doing some uncle time, you know what I'm saying? And went and visited a Tesla place, which is funny because I have mixed feelings about Tesla at this point in life. I was never a fan of Tesla per se. I was a fan of the idea of the technology and what it could be with its advancements and whatnot, especially the chargers for houses and you know, the technology that fuels the machines, the vehicles, etc. And but then years ago, Musk had made some statements when there was a tragic situation with a African airline, and the way his statements came off was as if he was trying to say that the African pilots were inferior and couldn't have known what they were doing to have made it for a better situation. And if you know the situation I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, look it up. Look it up. I looked it up. And I remember immediately just feeling like, what? The nerve of this dude. Like, it changed my whole perspective on him and the company and everything. But, yeah. So after that, I really wasn't feeling them. And I never was a huge fan of the vehicles. Like, they were never like, ooh la la. Like, for me, when I present content in that regard, I typically look for stuff to me is truly a beast of a vehicle, a sexy vehicle, something that aerodynamically, you know, me being a visual artist first, it's gotta appeal to me visually. And it's not to say that no Tesla does, but none of them leap at me like, ooh, wow, that's incredible. Oh, I want it so bad. None of them ever made me feel like that. And this new Cybertruck is kind of no exception to that. It's kind of like, yeah, okay. You know, that's my reaction. It's like, all right, you know, it's not a big deal to me. But I did want to see what the hype was about. And I was doing, like I say, Uncle Time, went out to a place with my nephew because he was having he loves cars and stuff. So it's like, all right, let's go check this thing out. So I got some footage coming for y'all. That's the mainly thing I'm saying about that. But I guess for my own, that I just play for the record, you know, I don't, when folk mess up, when these companies, you know, people in charge say things, they get in these places of privilege and start talking out their ass. You know, I'm gonna make a comment about it. I'm gonna let it be known I'm aware of that. You know, I ain't just fanning out over their product like it's all that. You know, I'm gonna make it clear what my perspective is on these things. You feel me? Yo, thanks for the thumbs up. I see the 8. That's what's up. Appreciate that. What the hell? We got the weird. Yes, sometimes I don't want to go live because I feel like here we go with the nonsense. People I'm gonna start getting all the little chumps that want to talk stuff and troll and stuff. I don't understand the psychology of goofy little people that want to be like that. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. Let me see here. All right, there we go. We'll just do it like that. And you're done, just like that. You know, because I don't put folk in timeout typically. I don't do timeout. I cut heads off. You know, ain't nobody got time for that BS. We ain't playing. What's happening, 20 in the house? Let's see 20 thumbs up. But yeah, like I said, we got some footage coming. It's going to be good. Y'all going to enjoy it. And, I mean, you know, whether you're a fan of their products or not, you might just like the video. It's going to be a quick, short video, more than likely. I just did a couple of little quick pan-arounds and things. I will say this. That thing is big. Like, if you ever seen the Cybertruck riding by on the expressway or somewhere, it's bigger than I thought it was. I don't know why I imagined it smaller. I guess Teslas are compact vehicles, but it's got more room on the inside than I expected. I got in the thing just to check it out, whatever. And yes, you know, I will say that being somebody born in the 70s, when you see some of these things that we imagine stuff looking that futuristic come to life, It's like, okay, we really are in that future that we always imagine, especially now they're about to, it started with the drones, then they got the bigger and bigger drones, and then they're like, oh, you know the lingo. We can always tell you to subscribe. That's everything here for YouTubers. We got to get them numbers up. But yeah, I probably won't be going live in the next day or so. Be busy with some stuff, so I figured, let me do it now while I got a little time, chat with my people and whatnot. So on other content, I did a, okay, wow. Again, here they go. They hitting up again. I mean, who are these people? Who are these people? What does that mean? What are you doing? What does that mean? Bye-bye. All right, so anyway, I tell you, there's some special babies out here in this world. There's some special babies. It's grown folk channel, y'all. This ain't the playground. I'm trying to tell you. Y'all gonna learn, man. Quality over quantity. I don't tolerate nonsense. If I got time to handle it, I'm gonna nip it in the bud as soon as I see it. You get goofy with me, real quick. Please believe it, real quick. Don't be thinking it's a game. It ain't no game. It's never a game. Anyway, I was gonna say that I did a video about an experience I had going on this show. It's a dating show, and I've been doing more content from something that I started years ago. And I'm trying to slowly but surely revisit it. Every so often I get the feeling to do some content about that, and I say, I'm gonna bring it back. But it was a show I called Relationship Goals in the Art Life. And the goal of it was to expose and share thoughts as a single brother out here in the dating world, but not just my perspective, but I would interview people, ladies, gents, on their experiences, and then preferably I would get artists as guests. Sometimes I might try and find somebody who may be just involved with artists, And I had a couple of young ladies, friends of mine in the film biz that I interviewed, models, actresses, and whatnot. Those were fun. I did about 3 of those. And then it kind of died off for a minute. And I also did some other stuff that was like, just pretty much just thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Stories, things I've been through and whatnot, that kind of vibe. You feel me? And so, yeah, have fun with it though, have fun with it. And I decided I'd bring it back because I have a lot of new thoughts. The more I travel and everything, I'm having a lot more thoughts about that situation and how it works, because as a traveler, in my particular personal taste, I like dating ladies abroad. I love foreign women. So when I travel, I try to meet somebody, or I try to see if I can meet somebody before I get there, that kind of thing. It doesn't always happen, but it is an income. And I'm also trying to be the voice of reason where that's lacking a lot on YouTube when it comes to other travelers, gentlemen looking for ladies and stuff abroad. Well, I see a lot of content where guys be talking about all this pay for play type stuff. I ain't about that life. I don't encourage it. I always say, hey, look, I'm not gonna make it like, I put it like this. People do different things for different circumstances. So I'm not judging nobody's actions. I just say it ain't my lane. And for all of the health issues that can be involved in that, mentally, physically, spiritually, the whole nine, I just say I highly recommend not to deal with that. I mean, it's stressful enough just dealing with people who ain't selling themselves to be in a situation to then deal with somebody who's about that life. They could care less about you. It's all about the money. So you really put yourself in a predicament with that. And I think that's a lot of the reason why we find these reports of guys getting, coming up missing and getting killed and all kind of crazy stuff abroad when they travel and think they can just move like that, And from being in some of these places where people be talking about it, I don't see how the hell they doing it. And I even talked about that in one of my videos from República Dominicana, and that's another thing I wanted to share about Dominican Republic is that I hate the stigma it gets. Like, oh yeah, that's where all the loose booty is. That's just how all the girls are. No, don't do that. Because somebody was talking about your home like that, boy, you be ready to fight. It's like, that's not cool. And it's not true either. It's just not true. There's no place on earth where everybody's selling themselves. You know what I mean? Like, no, don't get out of here with that. Yes, it exists. Yes, it is legalized in some of these countries, but that is not normal behavior that everybody's participating in. And I don't like that mythology and people pushing that kind of mess on people's cultures and stuff. So I made a concerted effort to make mention of that in my videos. And I'm proud that I'm laying light to it because I ain't the only one, but it's few people saying the logic of what I'm saying. A lot of the stuff you will find when it talks about dating and stuff abroad, that's what people are talking about. They ain't really talking about true dating. They talking about the other stuff. So I'm saying, like, come on, y'all. Come on, it's time to grow up. Get real. Be realistic and stop leading people to doom, you know, because that's not healthy behavior. At the end of any day, it's just not going. It's going to be it's risky. It's always risky. It's risky, like I said, it's risky enough just when it's normal relationships. So imagine when it's just all about the money. Oh my gosh, you really, whoa. So anyway, I went into that, and I got another video about that topic that I am editing that I'm about to drop soon. So be on the lookout for that. But I also, I say I have a guilty pleasure for being a guest on this semi-celebrity. I only say semi because not everybody knows who Melly is, but Melly Monaco, very attractive young lady, model slash, she's been a musician in the past, but she mostly claims her history as, you know, the model and personality, you know what I mean? She calls herself a relationship coach and all that. That can be true, and I don't know if I would completely agree with that, and just my personal opinion of some of her way of delivering her advice. I'm not gonna say she's always off or anything. Most of the time she's right on point with some of what she's saying. It's just always in your delivery. That's always my thing. It's how you say it. It's what you're telling people to do. And of course she's trying to be sensational, and that gets her numbers. Hell, she almost to 1 million. You know, when you got reason and you being logical about everything, like me, it can't help it. That's Virgo way. Shout out Virgos. We got next. You know what I'm saying? September coming, end of August. What it do? But that's just what we give the world, yo. It's like, you know, a lot of people, some people don't like Virgos because of that reason. Because we gonna bring the order. We gonna bring the discipline if we've been raised right and we, you know, are level. Because you get a Virgo that go wrong. Woo woo. Pray for the world. Pray for the world. Look at the list of what signs historically have been the greatest serial killers of all time. I hate to say we up in there big time. You know what I'm saying? It's not a game. Don't play with Virgos. We're not everybody always talk about, oh man, my son, we the craziest. No, check out Virgos. That's all I'm gonna say. I think if I remember that list right, it had like us, Geminis, who else was on there? I think Scorpios was on there. It was a couple, boy. They was on there deep. I mean deep. So it, you know, it wasn't all 12 signs. Put it like that. You feel what I'm saying? It was specific ones. It was about 6. It was the top 5 or 6 of all time. It was, you know, nothing to brag about. I'm just saying, you know, I'm speaking to the fact that, you know, there's an energy about people who are theoretical, like I tend to be being a Virgo, that people got to understand. When somebody's telling you they're analytical, they're not joking. Like, I analyze everything. My own moves and other people's moves. So like before I even went on Melly's show, I said this in the video I did recently. I was like, you know, I studied it before I decided to ever be a guest on the show. There's no whims. Even when it seems like I'm making a whim decision, there's no whims. Everything is somehow, even if partially calculated. I'm thinking, okay, all right, this will be that, and if I do that, then that. Always playing chess, never checkers. You know what I'm saying? They say chess, not checkers. It's real. It's like, checkers can be easy. Chess is complicated. You gotta think. You gotta think, y'all. You gotta be moves ahead. You gotta be thinking about what the next person gonna do that you're not paying attention to. And for every move you make, you gotta have a backup. There's always a backup for every move made. That's why people who say, you know, it can be akin to the most successful people in life, it's because they think that way. It's a way of being. So, and I love chess. Oh my gosh, I love chess. And so, well, I tell you, these folk got me out here in the middle of the, don't you hate when the light turns for turn signal, and because other people going late, they leave you out in the middle of the intersection? I hate that. Anyway, we made it. We here. And so I was saying, I went on the show, and the young lady who was on there, not really that young enough, younger than me. She's in her 30s, I'm in my 40s. But to be honest, she looked like she could be 40 already. And she looked like she was maybe a mom. And I'm not saying that as an insult, I'm just saying when a lady becomes a mom, typically, depending on her genes, her way of, you know, working out, her body bouncing back, there's baby fat, there's other things that, you know, your body changes a lot. It's a miracle. It's a miracle, you know? But it changes a woman forever, so they have to do a lot typically, unless, like I say, I know some women gene-wise just naturally pop right back, slim stomach, look like they never had a child. And they're like, you're like, what in the world genes you got, you know? But that's the rare exception. Those women are like 5% of the whole human population from what I've ever seen in my lifetime. So this lady was like, she looked like she had children, but she was like, no, I haven't. But her ego was like, you know, she really thought a heck of a lot of her physical appearance, which she wasn't bad looking. She's cute, she's pretty, but she wasn't like, oh my God, to me. You know, to somebody else, she might be there, everything. You know, like I made videos and thoughts about that too. I was like, look, how you gonna put a scale on people and act like everybody rating people on the same scale? You know, to one lady I'm a 10, to another one I'm just a 5, and I don't care, because I ain't, whoever that 5 person is, I don't want to deal with them. They're not gonna work for me, because I need them to treat me like I'm a 10. So I need her to be happy about thinking I'm a 10. You know. So anyway, I went on the show, and the concept of the show is, they call it the Pineapple Show. And Melly, the host, was have folk come on. They try to talk to the guest, the lady. If she likes you, she can keep talking to you. If at some point in the conversation you say something she don't like, or whatever it may be, she just suddenly realized, you know, I don't think I'm feeling you. This ain't compatible. Pineapples. As soon as she say pineapples, click, they go to the next person. So this is my 3rd time being on the show. And honestly, I just did it for fun, y'all. Like every time I've been on there, I did it for fun. I think only one time I was kind of interested in the lady. I thought she was really fine and kind of my type and whatnot. And like I would say the middle one that I can't remember who the first one was that I went on to see about. But the second one, I definitely was impressed with her look. She was beautiful. The only thing of it with her is that she was super religious. So I'm not religious. And I make that clear. I wasn't hiding nothing. I was like, yo, I'm just not religious. It is what it is. And before I could explain my perspective on it, as soon as I said that, it was just kind of like, oh no, I'm not feeling that. That's not what I do. I gotta have a, you know, God-fearing man, all them little words that I can't stand, them phrases. Because people don't even know where this stuff come from. They just be saying it. I want somebody God-fearing. It was okay, all right. You know that was created by human beings to control other people, right? Okay, you don't know that, but I know. Yeah. So that was like, and I was like, I knew where this is going. As soon as she got the look like, oh no, he's not religious. Because she was feeling me. She said on camera how much she thought I was attractive, blah, blah, blah. As soon as I dropped that, it was over. Pineapple. So, but I used the footage because it was a great moment. And I do it as a little reminder for anybody who might be thinking, who this guy? You know what I'm saying? I know people. You know what I'm saying? They go through a life change. I know people who they used to be so religious. They were always interested in something happened, and it made them realize the hypocrisy of other human beings. And maybe they didn't completely drop their religion, but they reconfigured how they fit it in their life. They realized, man, I don't have to be in a church and all this stuff. And mind you, all the views and opinions and everything I'm sharing right now are just my experiences, not necessarily those of ONYXCON's affiliates, sponsors, etc. You know the deal. But I say that on purpose because I got really religious friends who love ONYXCON and support what we're doing. You know, but they know my heart and they know where I'm coming from. So when I speak on these topics, no one's offended. But I know how, you know, fragile people are these days. So you gotta break all that stuff down, and they still ain't gonna be right. They ain't right. They ain't right. They just can't understand. Because the problem is people will hear something they've never heard before, jump to a fence, but not look up what is the person saying. Because if you've never heard it, it will behoove you to look it up. You know, look up the origin of the phrase God-fearing. And if you're a logical human being, you're probably not going to like the origin of that phrase. You're not going to like the origin of that phrase. It is completely for control and manipulation by people posing as so-called spiritual leaders, whatever, all that stuff. So, you know, like I always say, like, you never know. The clock is still ticking. It's time for somebody to come around, and you might mess around and enlighten somebody. And if they go do their own research and find out what you were talking about, they weren't compatible then. They might be compatible later. Life is amazing, I'm trying to tell you. As the older folk, much older than me, say, yo, you keep living, I'm telling you, you're going to be amazed with what changes. what was one way can become a whole opposite in a matter of years. It's real. Sometimes it don't take years, but for huge changes, usually that's the case. And what seems like a long way away, I always say anything within 5 years, man, that's tomorrow. It's literally like saying tomorrow, because that's kind of how you're going to remember it. I can't tell you how many times I think back to things that happened during the pandemic, and it seems like last year, but no, that stuff was, wait a minute, oh man, that's 4 years ago. Wow, that's 5 years ago. Wow, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's how it really is. 2024, 23, 22, 21, okay, 20, 19. That is 6 years ago. See, some of the stuff that happened seems like only 2 years ago to me. That's how it goes with your mind. Got to be conscious of that. It's real. It's real. But yo, I didn't have much to talk about. To be honest, I was kind of just babbling to let y'all know I got some new content out. As usual, I like to hype it up when I go on my lives, let y'all know, let y'all see my face in the place, and know that I'm passionate about whatever I share with y'all. I want y'all to see it. And so if you dismissed it or missed it, don't do that. Go on over there and make it part of your energy. See what I'm talking about. You might want to absorb some of that knowledge. It's edutainment all day. It's ONYXCON.